Hello, my name is Adrian Huston. I'm a former tax inspector, and this video is specially made for people who are the victims of the BMST. Now, that's not some hospital-acquired infection, it's actually the Bridgham Managed Service Trust, and you know if it affects you. This is a trust, an employee benefit trust that was set up to save people tax, and what it did was it involved them their remuneration being paid to an outside organisation offshore from the UK, and then some other entity lent them money. And because there was no real expectation of them paying that money back, they were effectively getting this remuneration tax-free. So say, for example, 100,000 goes off to Jersey, and then miraculously someone in Switzerland decides to lend you £98,000. You're better off to the tune of £98,000. You've paid a few grand in fees and miraculously no UK tax payable. Problem with this, as Jimmy Carr, the comedian, found out, is HMRC is pretty keen on stopping it, and so they will pore over the scheme with a fine-tooth comb to see if they find flaws in the paperwork, the administration, or the dates of you entering the scheme. In the case of BMST, which was promoted by the late accountant Fred Robertson, they have found that this case was sadly deficient. In fact, one of the worst cases they've ever seen. And so we now have the situation where hundreds upon hundreds of people who received their money through BMST have now had HMRC writing to them to open an inquiry into their tax affairs. Now, because I'm a former tax inspector, I can help you sort this out and do it within a reasonable cost and hopefully nice and quickly, so you can get back to the job of making money and paying for the family. What needs to be done is we need to tell HMRC by the 30th of November 2013 at the latest that you want to admit your liabilities to them and pay up. Now, if you don't have all the money, we can talk to the revenue about that as well. But if before that date you've said to the revenue you want to do this, and then you go to them with honest hands, then they're not going to charge any penalties. So that's a massive improvement on a lot of people who get caught out in these tax avoidance schemes. You will have to pay the tax, and you will have to pay interest because the tax is being paid later than it should have been if you declared all this income in the first place. I know what you thought you did was legitimate at the time, but these avoidance schemes are always open to the risk of revenue challenge, and sadly this one has come up wanting. In our particular case, what we do is we handle everything with HMRC for you. We are also non-residence experts, so if it turns out that you were working overseas, and particularly if your trips to the UK averaged under 91 days per year, we may be able to have a substantial amount of the income which the revenue is now seeking to tax kept out of the equation. And because we are non-residence experts, we can sort all of that out for you as well. The way the fees work is we take a flat fee of £2,000 plus VAT, and that will cover you for up to 14 hours of my time. If we go above the 14 hours, then we charge my usual hourly rate, which is £190 per hour, including VAT. But I will promise you that I will cap my fees at £3,000 plus VAT, whatever. So while you pay £2,000 plus VAT up front, there will never be a bill of more than £1,000 in order for us to bring your tax fares up to date at the 5th of April 2013. So we're starting in 2008 and going to 2013, and that will give you certainty that with the amount of fees you pay, and we will get you through this with HMRC as smoothly as possible. I've always kept good relations with my former HMRC colleagues, and equally I know when I can push the boundaries and when I should simply allow the matters to proceed the way HMRC wants. So I will defend your interests aggressively where appropriate, and if you've paid overseas tax, I will be claiming you credit for that as well. If you'd like to use us or to chat to me about the possibility, please give me a call on 028 9080 6080 or Skype me on offshore.tax. Thank you.